Should be uploading all my stuff from last night, but I don't know. I just turned this on. Not sure what's going on. I haven't really seen anything active. Look up and these officers driving through the parking lot. And after all the stuff I just said running through my mind, it doesn't surprise me. No, I feel like it's always some kind of little hint, but unfortunately, it's like I'm already prepared for whatever may happen, so I don't really know. I don't know. Should be uploading the rest of my stuff. Um, yeah, I figured out a way to try to get these pictures and stuff uploaded from all the stuff that I had taken, all this evidence that I had about all the stuff I've been going through. And so I figured out a way to get all my stuff uploaded. I can just upload it and save it and just share the link with the specific people who I want to share the link with. And so what I really should be doing is doing that. But y'all know, I don't think these people be on my side and considering all of what I was just thinking and how you get the movement with your thoughts, with your words, not because of your actions, but because of the way you think. Isn't that so funny? And so last night I was sitting up thinking a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden, we had a whole bunch of people getting pulled over, a whole bunch of sirens going off. And so just a little while ago, I was just thinking a bunch of stuff because I'm tired, y'all. I'm over it. And they want you to be quiet, but nobody tries to help you. It seems like they want you to be quiet while they further mess over you. They want you to be quiet so nobody knows what they're doing and they can get away with it. They don't want you to be quiet for any reasons that'll help you. And so at this point, I'm just kind of over it. I'm just kind of completely over it. And so I just feel like whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens, happens. I know I haven't did anything. And so if the ego's that big and they're taking over they little souls that's left in the body, those who have souls left, and they want to take me to jail because of what I think, because of what I refuse to believe, because of what I know, then by all means, do what you need to do if that make y'all feel better. And so I don't know. I don't really know. Them being over here may have had absolutely nothing to do with me. But I notice when I think certain things or say certain things, then I notice they just pop up out of the blue. It seems like just for no reason. All of a sudden, bing, here they go. And I've been getting all this energy about jail. And so I feel like, maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe that's the next thing they're trying to do. Maybe they want to try to take me to jail because of whatever it is I'm thinking, and I really don't care because I know I haven't done anything. And so if they have to make up something to get me to where I need to be so they can try to keep me quiet and keep my mouth closed, and that's what they're going to have to do because it's freedom of speech. At least it's supposed to be. And so I'm not going to shut up. And so if that's the only way that they have to make me do what it is, if they try to shut me up, then that's what they're going to have to do. And we'll just go to court over it because, like I've been saying for the longest, my civil rights have been all kind of violated by these people. By the government, by the city, by the state people, by employers, by military people, by civilians. My civil rights have been all kind of violated. And the fact that I've reached out to attorneys and I've reached out to news stations and I'm not getting any response. I've already felt like my phone was tapped and they were already doing stuff with my mail. And so they're watching my mail, they're watching my phone calls, and so they're probably very well watching my emails too. And so maybe that's why I'm not getting a response back every time I email somebody regarding what's going on. Because they could be very well watching my emails and cutting them off too. And so I don't know. Because I've sent messages out to too many people, and I haven't got, the only response that I got was, we got your inquiry or something like that, and we'll be reaching out to you shortly to discuss something further. And I never got a call, I never got another email or anything, and that's as far as I've gotten with anybody. And when I tell you I've sent out several emails, this last one, I think I added like 5 emails in one. Like 2 or 3 different news stations, and I think it was even an attorney added in that one. I just sent it all in one email to everybody. And it's like I CC'd them, but I didn't put it on CC. I just put 2, and I just put all those different emails instead of CCing everybody else. And so I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're looking at, what they're looking for. All I know is when I say certain things, when I think certain things, then all of a sudden I notice that certain things start to happen around me. It don't take your third eye to be open. All it takes is the 2 on your face to be open to see the changes or people's reaction when you say certain things or when you think certain things. So yeah, at this point I'm just kind of over it. I'm over it, y'all. I ain't never been in jail before in my life, but I've never been homeless before either. And look how long I've been sitting out here with no help. You know, look how many of them it took to get me like this. You know, how many higher ups does it take to screw in a light bulb? Evidently a lot. A lot of people been working together to mess me over. You gotta ask yourself, what kind of power do I hold for all these people to be working together like they have been working together? Had a whole car disappear out the parking lot with no evidence. Imagine that. All the cameras around, and they see all my movements the day before and the night before, all different times of day, all different times of morning. But the night that my car leaves the parking lot without me because I'm in my room asleep, they don't have anything for that. There's no footage for that. Imagine that. People make stuff disappear when they want to make it disappear. Just like I just looked down today and realized both of my passports were missing. Like, I still have my son's passport, which he no longer needs where he is. But it's so funny because both of my passports are gone, and they were both in the same place as his. One had my married name, one had my maiden name on it. Both of them are gone. But it doesn't surprise me. It's like I told y'all, as soon as I was thinking about going to California, there was this whole thing. It kept showing me, kept popping up on my phone about Wendy Williams saying she want to go to California so bad. And when everything first started happening and I started to lose all this weight, Wendy Williams kept popping up on my phone. It's almost like they were trying to show me. It was her in like a really bad state, when she had lost all this weight and her skin was just kind of hanging, and you could see like the stretch marks and stuff in her legs. They kept showing me that picture of her, and I felt like it was their way of kind of telling me that that's where they were trying to get me, like that's where I would end up soon. And so to be here and be thinking I can't wait to leave from here, like I'm so over, I can't wait to leave from here and head on to where I'm going, which was California. And then right before I get ready to go, all of a sudden my mirror gets knocked off my car, and they hold my car for 3 months. I don't think that was a coincidence. And then the whole time I kept thinking I'm ready to go to California. They kept showing me Wendy Williams saying how much she was ready to go. She couldn't wait to get to Cali. And I don't know why they keep comparing me to Wendy Williams, but it's almost like they want to make it seem like I guess I've lost my mind, or that I'm on some type of drugs or something, and that these things are happening to me because of me. But we all know that it's because of them. Because of me, I was like I was. Because of me, I was around here traveling the world. I was able to pay all of my bills on time because of me. I didn't have any help with that. That was because of me. I was able to have my children established and them their own stuff. That was because of me. I didn't have help with that. Because of me, I was living just fine. But because a lot of people have participated in this, because of all of them, I'm sitting out here like this. And so I just find it so weird that every time I think something or I want to do something, then I have some kind of delay. And so although I just realized that my 2 passports were missing just today, it takes me back to when I was thinking about, like, when I had the last few $100 left, and I was like, if I just take this and go to Guatemala with it, which is what I was thinking about doing, just leaving out the country. I had a few $100 left, and I'm like, man, this would take me. I'd already did my research. I'm like, this would at least take me through the next month over there versus over here. I'm only gonna get through like a week over here where I'm at right now. So if I just leave and go out the country, but I never did do that. It's so funny because I was in a store and I was thinking all of this. You get pissed off by the little subliminal messages that they send you. And so I'm thinking all of this stuff in my head. And this guy looks up at me, and you can tell he knew what I was thinking. You can tell he felt what I was feeling. And by the time I got back, he left out the store before me, y'all. By the time I got back to my car, and it was still a rental car at the time, because they held my car again for 3 months, y'all. By the time I got back to that rental car, he had a little letter in there waiting for me, telling me where to go to in El Salvador and Guatemala. So funny. I had never told anyone where I was thinking about going to. I had only thought about it. And the fact that I went inside of that store was thinking, like, I was in my head, y'all, I was going off in my head. I was pissed. And he looked at me, and you can tell he knew exactly what I was thinking. And although I didn't see him himself put this note in my car, when I got back to my car, that's what I found in my car. And I don't know what I did with it to show it to y'all. But it was a little note. And it was telling me where to go to get help. Whether I was going to Guatemala or whether I was going to El Salvador. Either way, wherever you end up at, call these places, go to these places, tell them this. And again, I hadn't told anybody my plans of doing anything. And so I said that because I was just thinking, I don't know when my passports disappeared, y'all, but I was thinking about removing them from this thing anyway, where it was. And so I looked all through the car because I'm like, okay, maybe I moved them when I thought about moving them, because I did think about moving them. But I pretty much checked through everything. Hopefully I'm just looking over it, and maybe I'll find it when I have to pull everything out of the car. But right now, they're not where they should be. And I don't know when they went missing. And based off how other stuff has seemed to work for me, if they went missing, I wouldn't be surprised if it was during that time I was thinking about going to Guatemala. Because it seems like everything that I think about to get over this, what's going on, somebody's in the background thinking about something that's going to counter whatever it is that I'm doing for myself. And it's crazy. And it's sad, is what it is. It's like they purposely want me down for some reason. As long as I'm down, then evidently they can be up. Evidently it makes a difference what they're able to do based off what I'm able to do, because why would you go so hard to keep me down like this? And they have to be spending a hell of a lot of money because there's so many people involved with this. Like, I've been from Georgia all the way here to Nevada, and it's still the same stuff. The community and everything acts the same. Like, people, they send these little subliminal messages all the time. Like, I'm still trying to upload, like I was saying, all of the stuff, all the different proof that I have. People saying, you know, they pull up on you and they turn the radio up just so you can hear them singing the songs about stop trying to save people. That's what they want you to do. Stop trying to save people. I guess people don't need to hear the truth. They like to pull the wool over people's eyes, and so that's what that song was about. I had somebody drive by me one time early in the morning, they blasting Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, y'all. You have people walk by you in all these ghostly shirts like it's Halloween time, and you know exactly what they're saying, because I'm that connected to my angels and to God and to my spirit guides. And that's how y'all treat me. What about the people that's conjuring up stuff? What about the people that's so connected to the evil? Do y'all do them the same way, or are y'all scared of them? It's like this fun little game that they playing with me, because they know I'm by myself. They know it's nobody that's standing up for me. It's nobody doing anything. And so it feels like I'm just the perfect candidate for them to mess over. And so you just have people one by one, they don't care. Whatever they feel like doing, because they know it's just me anyway. And so I'm stuck just recording all of this stuff. It's like it's not bad enough where y'all have made me lose my job that I've had for 11 years. Ain't no telling what they told Steven to make him even act like he was acting towards me, because clearly he had a problem. And for me to make reports on him and nothing's even done about that, it's like I feel like something, I don't know what the rumor has been behind my back, because no one has been man or woman enough to come up to me and say, hey, this is what's been going on. I've just been stuck trying to figure this out myself while everybody plays dumb. And it's sad. Everybody just pretending to not know anything, but you know they know everything, because you can literally see them moving off your thoughts. Just your thoughts. Y'all, it blew my mind that was even in my car. I was trying to figure out, like, how did they even get that in my car, because the door was locked. At least I thought the door was locked. And so I'm confused about how they even get it in my car, let alone the places that he wrote on there was exactly the places I had been looking at. And again, I hadn't told anybody. Not one single person. I have nobody to tell. I don't have not one single person. Not one single person here that has my back. Not one single person at home when I was in Georgia had my back. That's why I ended up just leaving, because I'm literally getting chased around town all day, every day. My stuff is constantly being broken into. I'm constantly being harassed, and people are constantly playing stupid like they don't know what's going on. From the top to the bottom, like they don't know what's going on, and they know very well what's going on. Police and everything involved. And that's why I don't trust these up here, because it seems like a repeat of what I had going on there. And so if the ones there was acting that way, police, politicians, all them down there acting that way, I'm looking up here like, you know, you don't know which ones to trust up here. So every time I see them, I'm like, okay, what are they coming here for now? Is it this time where they coming to get me? Like, what's being set up now? Because the whole time I felt like that's what was going on. I was being set up there. And to get up here again, and my whole car disappears out of the parking lot. Somebody was able to drive my car off to take my car out of the parking lot. Rental car, but still my car. And so you can only imagine if they would do that to the rental car, what they're able to do to my car, which was over at the shop at the time. And so where I feel like they're tracking and tracing everything and every movement that I make, my cell phone, my emails. Like I said, they were tampering with my mail for the longest. I wasn't getting mail. And then I get up here and I'm like, well, let me at least send for the little mail that I may have that's been delivered since that time that I've been gone. And so I bought this, and I know you can barely see it, y'all. You can barely see it. But I bought this. This is my tracking number. $20 thing to have my mail overnighted to me. And I sent it down there to them, and I called the girl who worked in my office and told her what I was trying to do. And what she said was she wants to give it until Monday so that all the stuff over the weekend can come, and she would just put it all in the same thing. So I said, okay. About another week went by and I didn't receive anything. And so I called them. Was like, well, what's going on with my mail? You know, I paid this money to have my mail overnighted to me. And what I was told was the mailbox was kicked down. Just so happened the day that they was about to do it, somebody kicked down the mailbox. But you know, it's funny that just so happened every time I get ready to do something, something just so happens to knock me from being able to do it. It's not a coincidence. Every single time something just so happens to happen. And so yeah, I'm so over this whole thing, and these people and the government that's like playing along with them and their little games. And you think they have so much more important things to do than to come after me, but evidently they don't. Evidently they don't. And so where I should just be still uploading all of this proof that I have, all these pictures and videos that I've taken over time of stuff that's being done to me. I seen this police car pull up in here for nothing. They got out, they went inside, didn't come out with food. Went inside again. Ain't one coming driving back by me. And then a couple minutes after that, another one pulls in. And so, yeah, I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. You gotta watch everybody. You gotta watch everybody, because you don't know who on your team and who's against you. But evidently, it's a lot of people who are against me. Because I ain't had that. I've had no help. Nobody will come to you and say anything. I make reports about stuff, and it's like it just gets swept right under the table. You don't get any response from anything, from anybody, not even when I was reporting the abuse that I was receiving from the management at the job. You get no response. It gets swept right under the table, and they pretend like they don't know anything. And so, yeah, I don't know what, I don't know. And it really hurt my feelings today, and that's why I was kind of going off today earlier. Luckily, I didn't click on the video and come on here and do it, but I was thinking a bunch of stuff to just look in here and see that my passports are missing. Now, I hope I find them somewhere else, but y'all, I took out everything in my trunk. I went through everything in the back except for dirty clothes, and I don't see my passports. And just based off how they move with everything else, I wouldn't be surprised if my passports didn't go missing way back when I was talking about going to Guatemala. Just like all of a sudden, my mirror got knocked off and my car get held for 3 months when I'm talking about leaving and going to California. And they held my car just long enough to where I would spend all of my money here, somewhere where I did not even want to be. I never planned on being. and they would tell me they're going to reimburse me. Because had they not told me they would reimburse me, then I would have just left with the mirror hanging. I wouldn't have even worried about it. Because at the end of the day, it cost me more money than it cost their insurance company to fix something that they did wrong. It cost me more money to stay here while they fixed it, while they waited for a part for 3 months. 3 months of hotels in Las Vegas. Do you know how much that costs? 3 months of gas in a Dodge Charger. I was given a choice out of the Charger and a van that they had. I took the Charger. That's 3 months of extra gas compared to my Toyota I'm in. $45 compared to $80 worth of gas every week. Not only that, you can't smoke inside of the hotels or the Airbnb, so you can imagine I spent a lot of time sitting out in my car. When I was smoking, I hadn't smoked in a while now. Can't afford it. But when I was smoking, because I could afford it, because I came here with enough money to do what I had to do, I came very well prepared. There was a plan. There was a plan A and a plan B, but they sabotaged that plan on purpose. And so when I was, I spent a lot of time sitting in the car smoking. Although I would rent rooms and I would ask for a smoking room, I'd be given a regular room. No smoking room. For some reason, I always given the opposite of what I asked, and so I find my way spending my time spending a lot just sitting in the car. Gas wasted, and every time you move, it's taking twice as much gas as what it normally takes, because I don't know, I guess the engine. All I know is I'm using way more gas than I should have been using, and so that costs money. I'm getting hotel rooms at these resorts, and they don't have any microwave in them. They don't have any refrigerator in them, so I'm having to buy food every day. Fast food every day. It was to the point where I'm like, I can't keep spending all this money on food, and so you can't even eat 3 times a day, because I'm trying to not spend everything that I had while I waited for my car to be fixed. But they held my car, y'all. They held it all the way until I spent every dime in my pocket, and then they told me a week before they gave me the car back that they wasn't going to reimburse me for anything. And so what am I supposed to do? How do you fix that? Y'all tell me y'all gonna reimburse me. Had you said up front that you wouldn't have, I would have just left. There's no way I would have stayed here and spent all of that money for those months just for a $500 mirror to be fixed. It cost Progressive $500 to fix my mirror. I spent thousands of dollars in 3 months just trying to live while they fixed a $500 mirror. Imagine that. And then for them to give me my car back and be like, well, I guess you just SOL. Just shit out of luck. And there's nothing that can be done. Nothing. So it's like, not only am I trying to find an attorney about my car now, but I was already looking for an attorney about what happened at the job, the wrongful firing, the retaliation. How this man who had his job for less than a year, he's still learning his job, would come in and find excuses to fire me. And I say excuses because he wrote me up 3 times. You only get 3 write-ups. I hadn't had one in the 11 years I've been there. But this person come here, still learning his job, there for a year, writes me up 3 times in 2 months, and went ahead and fired me after he didn't did all of this other stuff to retaliate against me. So after you've messed me all over, screwed me up in all kind of ways, now you're gonna fire me. And then he gave me 3 days to move out of the apartment that I've been in for 11 years, y'all. 3 days to move out. And then my mother had just passed. And so right after he fired me, I was about to go to a funeral. So you can imagine, had I not been given an extra week by the senior, or the senior district manager, Sean, had I not been given that extra week, I would have been going back home to my mother's funeral with all of my stuff piled in my car. And it's so that it feels like they tried to sabotage me in every way possible. And everything I reported, they done nothing about. They just swept it under the rug like I was lying. All this proof I got, all these videos that I have, all of the emails and all of the text messages, and the stuff just keeps getting swept under the rug like there's nothing going on. But meanwhile, you can clearly tell that everybody is aware of what's going on. But again, nobody's been man or woman enough to just come up to me and say, hey, this is what's been going on. This is why you have this right here. This is why everybody's looking at you crazy. This is why everybody's acting funny. This is why everybody's throwing shade at you. This is why everybody's taking the time to send these little subliminal messages, and they're not approaching you with anything. This is why. Nobody says that. They just watch you. Or in some cases, people who was watching you just quiet all of a sudden. You know they still watching, but the people who used to talk to you just all of a sudden go silent. Imagine that. Family all of a sudden stop talking to you and start supporting each other like you did something wrong to them. Again, a job, I'm at 11 years, all of a sudden they start tripping about stuff. They start, it's like I'm getting all of these weird complaints that I've never gotten before. It felt like it was a setup. Just like this mirror felt like it was a setup. As soon as I decided that I didn't want to be in Vegas anymore, that I was going to keep on going, which was always my original thing anyway. I was always headed to California, y'all. But I figured, since I was coming this way, let me just stop. You know, we'll make it something fun. We'll try to make it some fun out of it. You know, we'll try to make something good out of something bad. After I've been fired from a job for 11 years, maybe this is my cue. Maybe I needed this vacation. So you know what? I'm going to take my time and I'm going to enjoy my little steps as I'm going. So every state that I stopped in, I did little stuff to make me feel good. I did stuff to enjoy myself because I could. I didn't have a lot of money, but I knew I had enough to do what I needed to do with. And so when I got here, I was like, okay, I'm going to stay here. Maybe I'll just stay here for a month. And I'll see if I actually like it here. If I like it here, then I won't even continue going. I'll just stay here and start over here. But I knew a couple weeks in that I wasn't going to stay. I knew a couple of weeks in that I was over it and I was ready to go. And that's all I would think about while I was in their Airbnb. I can't wait to leave here. I wanted to leave already, but I'm like, I'm not going to just waste my money. I paid for this Airbnb for this long, so I'm not going to just waste my money. Let me just ride this time out and go when I can. And then right before I get ready to leave, all of a sudden I'm in the Walmart parking lot, and some little young girl who evidently wasn't even supposed to be driving, from the way she just hopped in the back seat and called her dad when she figured out she wasn't going to be able to just give me $40 or $50, which she tried to give me to fix the $500 mirror. Like all of a sudden I get ready to go and then I'm in Walmart one day and all of a sudden my mirror is gone. And again, a $500 mirror 3 months later, and y'all tell me y'all not gonna reimburse me for anything. Something you should have told me at the beginning. But at the beginning, what they told me was to keep my receipts so that I could be reimbursed for everything. Keep my receipts for my hotels, for my food, for my gas, everything that I spent money on. Keep the receipts for. And so here I am with this bag of receipts here that I kept like they told me to, only to get ready to pick up my car and then they tell me they're not gonna reimburse me anything. Imagine that. You imagine how I felt? Knowing that I now had no money, knowing that I'm now about to be homeless, knowing that I didn't have nobody I could call, nobody I could depend on when I was in Georgia. So who the hell am I supposed to call or depend on while I'm here in a place where I know nobody? And then I was originally talking about it in one of my posts and somebody commented under it, I should have came better prepared. I was absolutely prepared for what I came to do. I was over prepared for what I came to do. What I wasn't prepared for was to be stuck here an extra 3 months, spending everything that I had saved to move forward with, and for them to tell me at the end that they wasn't going to reimburse me. Like I said, had they told me at the beginning, I would have never stayed here that long because I would have known the result of that. Me spending all my money here, like what was I supposed to do? But they didn't tell me that at the beginning. They told me save my receipts. And all this time later, when I've gotten down to my last little bit of money that I have, and then they like, oh, your car is ready to be picked up. At that time, I didn't even know if I had enough gas to be able to pull off in my car. Imagine that. I survived 3 months. That money was not supposed to be spent here. It was supposed to be going wherever I was going and helping me to be able to get established while I can get a job or do whatever I need to do, which I was just going to get my ID switched over and keep doing Uber or Lyft because I did very well with Lyft. I did well back then with Lyft until they started trying to sabotage me during that. They would put people in my car to make these fake complaints. People would bing their way into my car, and then I would find those same people's name as a reservation at my property, at my store where I was working at and living at. Imagine that. But I'm not supposed to realize that these were setups. Same people in my car while I'm driving Lyft are some of the same people making reservations at my property, at my store, and watching me at my house. The same people following me around that I'm complaining about, these same vehicles are showing up at my property where I lived at my house. Even vendors, y'all. Even vendors. And Stephen made sure he kept a vendor there on my property. He made sure he kept that there. That was part of his retaliation. You know, he asked you when he first started working, what is it that you liked about the job and what is it that you don't like? You know, what's the least thing that you like? Everybody has something they love about their job and something that they really dislike about it. And if you say you don't, you're lying. It's something about it that you don't like. Your least favorite thing. And so, me being honest, you know, I love the people and I love the independence of the job. Me being able to make the decisions that I'm able to make and to work by myself because I work by myself 5 days out the week. and you have a relief come in for the 2 days that I'm off. And so I ran everything. I did everything myself at that property. I didn't even complain about the stuff that the relief wasn't even able to do. The fact that she had been there for over a year too and still didn't even know all of her job, but I wasn't even complaining about stuff that she was doing wrong or just neglecting to do at all because she didn't know how to do. I just do it myself. And so he took that, and that was one way he retaliated against me. He made sure that I never was there by myself. And so every day it would be someone else at that property working with me. Not only that, all kind of people had access to it. 24-hour access. They're giving gate codes. They on a property. I come downstairs to go to work in the morning. They already there. These people, these vendors, they supposed to give me an access, like a passphrase, for me to give them access to my property. But somehow they're already having access. I come down and they just there, and I'm looking around, and you can imagine how it would make me feel to know that I'm being harassed and stalked by these certain people in certain tags on the outside, on the street. And then I have to come downstairs and come to work, and I'm noticing I'm being surrounded by those same tags. Vendors who I don't know on the property all the time. I don't know what they there to do, why they there. I don't know how they gain access to my property. I'm finding stuff open that shouldn't be open. Couldn't nobody have opened it except for an employee. Stuff thrown in hallways that just came out of nowhere. And so I would have some every now and then, like the senior district manager would come through, and he would do what they would call a DMR or something, and he would walk through the property real quick. Something I've never had any issues with. All of a sudden they find the stuff inside the units, like, hey, you need to resweep these units and resweep these hallways. And I'm going out there and looking, and the stuff that's in the hallways, he's saying, you know, it came from the ceiling, evidently not paying any attention that I have metal ceilings. And because I've worked at other properties before, I know that this stuff that I'm finding, these little pieces of stuff in the hallways and inside the units, actually do come from off the ceilings and the walls of other properties, because I know how those other properties are set up, because I've worked other properties before. And so I'm confused about how the stuff from other properties getting over here inside of my hallways and inside of my units for me to sweep out when I have brick walls and metal ceilings. It's no way it's coming. Like, it's no little rubber pieces coming from my brick walls and my metal ceilings. And so I know, again, a person who's been working there for 11 years, that stuff has been purposely thrown inside of my hallways, inside of my units, for me to keep sweeping, for me to keep working, to keep me busy. And when I tell y'all about the little pop-up things you have, you be scrolling on your phone and something pop up, I never forget that day. I was thinking about all that stuff that was staged out there in those units. And it was some little doggy. I scrolled, and it was a little dog, and it was like the little dog was like singing this happy song about what they was about to go and do with the stick and have somebody clean up that shit. And all I could think is, this is exactly what they're doing to me. They're making me look like a damn fool out here. Constantly cleaning, constantly doing stuff that they're setting up for me to do. Like, this whole thing has been a setup, y'all. One setup after another setup after another setup for me to lose my job, for me to do extra cleaning while I was at the job, for me to look like I was stealing from the job, because that's what he even told me at one point. Maybe I was stealing or being bribed or bribing somebody when I got the review that he asked for. My first 2 write-ups he gave me, he went back 7 years prior to find something to write me up about. If you wasn't there, then why would you even be concerned about something that happened 7 years ago? And you didn't even go out the way to ask me if I had permission from the then manager that was there 7 years ago. You just went looking for some stuff. It's like he knew what he was doing. It's no question he knew what he was doing. And everybody just joined in and seemed like helped him. And I don't know why, like who he was talking to made him do what he was doing. And yeah, so I'm just going back and just kind of reiterating to y'all, because I know I said it before, all the stuff that I've been through that led me to this point right now. And so I'm not out here again because of something that I did wrong, because I came unprepared for something, or because I don't know how to manage my money, or because I'm on some kind of hard drugs or something. I'm out here because they sabotage me, and they have me like this on purpose, and I don't know why. All I know is the stuff I get from my intuition. Y'all know, y'all here on this channel, y'all know how this works. Just like I pull cards for y'all, the same thing. Honestly, I don't even need the cards. The cards was just something fun, something I wanted to do for the page that I started. I never needed the cards. I always got stuff. I always got visions. My intuition has always been on point when it came to certain things. I've always had this knowing about certain things. And so the cards are just something extra fun I thought was going to be fun to do. But I mean, everything is being shadow banned anyway, so y'all are not even having a chance to see anything. This page is not going anywhere, and neither are my other pages either, because it's all being shadow banned. It's like they don't want you to make any money to help yourself. They want you exactly like you are, without anything. They want you quiet. They don't want you teaching people anything. They don't want you saying what it is that you went through, although it's their problem. Like, although it's something that they done, they don't want to fix it. They just want to sweep it under the rug like everybody else. And they expect you to just be quiet and sit under a tree and just be homeless without anything, with everybody just not saying anything, pretending to not know until you know they know. Like the man who just stuck that random piece of paper inside of my car that was telling me where to go to get help. I hadn't told anybody about that. So again, it's like, they know. They know enough to know where you're going, what restaurants you're going to eat at. They're waiting for you in parking lots. They inside of restaurants harassing you. The security that's not security in. Every time you turn around, the security is at me like I'm doing something wrong, instead of at the people who they should be at. Yeah. I'm just shuffling these cards. I just cut the deck on secrets, because that's what it's being. A bunch of secrets, a bunch of people being paid to just shut up and pretend like they don't know anything. And what are they being paid with? Because I've been pulling a lot of cards regarding some type of money. Some type of money. Some type of money that's supposed to have been coming to somebody. Some type of very large inheritance. Intellectual property. Now, I might not know about the inheritance per se, because I wouldn't know unless the person who was in charge to tell me would tell me about it. Let me tell you, when my mother passed away, I watched my little sister write out everything that was my mother's wishes. I didn't listen in particular, and she was like, I heard her tell my mama I should get you to sign this, and she was like, for what? Carrie just heard you. You know, she's sitting right there. But I wasn't paying that much attention. Everything they wanted somebody to have, whatever kind of insurance that was left, do you know, once I left there, I wasn't told anything at all. It was like I didn't receive anything. Nobody bothered to give me a dime. Not one penny. They didn't even bother to call me and say, hey, you remember those watches mama said you can have? We still got them for it. Nothing. And she told me that out of her own mouth. It was just some watches. My little sister just randomly said something about could she have her Nike outfits, which I thought that was some weird shit. Like, really, this lady ain't on her deathbed. She ain't here dying. And your thought is, can you have her Nike sweatsuits? And so after she told her, yeah, she didn't mind, she went on to tell me she had some brand new watches, one of which was sitting on the counter, and she wanted me to have that. And outside of the, like the insurance policy, outside of actual money, it was other stuff. And my little sister was just sitting there writing down everything. And at the end of the day, I didn't even get anything from that. And so it's no telling, again, what kind of insurance, what kind of inheritance was left that I did not receive anything. I've had several people pass. I've never received anything from anybody. Not my daddy, not my aunties, not my mother, nothing. And so when it comes down to an inheritance, if nobody tells you about it, then you wouldn't know about it. And so if it was something pretty big, then of course people would probably get together to do whatever they had to do to try to steal it. And then I keep pulling cards on intellectual property. I've written books. I've invented stuff that I wasn't able to act on. All of my stuff got shut down at one time. And so I wonder if anybody has taken my stuff, the businesses that I built, the books that I've written that I haven't had the ability to put out yet. With everything that's going on and all my other stuff that's been stolen and how I've been beat down out of everything, it wouldn't surprise me if someone's out there pretending that they wrote my books that I wrote myself. I almost want to come on here and read them to y'all, because at this point it's like somebody else probably out there lying about it anyway. And so me putting it out there to y'all and showing y'all where I actually took my time and wrote this myself, where it came from my own brain, not nobody else's out here trying to pretend like it came from theirs. And so I don't know, are they doing all of this to beat you down just to steal something that you created? Was an inheritance left to you that you're not receiving, that you were supposed to receive? But maybe it was so big that everybody decided they just gonna mess you over and keep it for themselves. Because people are paid to not say anything. People aren't just quiet like this for no reason. People aren't just participating in this. I've had fake police officers, real police officers. This is not a little thing. People have to be being paid to do what they're doing. To just be quiet, to just sweep certain things under the rug, to act like Steven was acting towards me. What was he told? What was he paid to do what he did? He came in with an agenda. He knew what he was doing. You didn't research and went back 7 years just to write me up about something. And so yeah, y'all, I know I said a lot. And I really only started off by saying I cut the camera on because I seen the cops pulling in here, and I was like, you know what, let me just do a video and see what's in the energy. when I should be uploading all these other videos to try to get them to these news stations, these attorneys. But I mean, for what? Because I'm not even getting a response back for anything. You don't even know if the king of strings all of a sudden pull some strings, paid some money out to have these people just do what they're doing. Pretend just like they don't see anything. And so that's what I've been going through out here. And I be watching other people pages, and I feel like it's so cool that they were able to expand and they have these thousands of viewers, and when stuff go wrong with them, with their cars, with their houses, if they're short on their rent, they able to chime in and say, y'all, I kind of need some help out here. If y'all could just send this much to my Cash App, I got 7,000 subscribers on here. If everybody can send $1, then I'd be able to pay my rent and pay my bills and do this and do that. But they won't. Like, I don't have that. I don't have nobody I can talk. I don't have nobody to call on for help like that. They don't even let my pages grow. They mean they want me to shut up, okay? They mean they want me to not be seen. They mean they want me to look the way I look and just be out here the way they have me out here, because they won't let anything grow for me. Everything I think about doing to try to better myself, somebody's in the background doing something to counter it. That's why I can't find my passports now. 2 of them. One had my married name, one had my maiden name on it. I can't find none of them. Neither one of them. Both of them gone. So as soon as I got here, my tablet went missing out of my car. That's why I was in the hotel and they were able to move my car, the rental car I was in, and do whatever they did to it. I was worried about if they were trying to set me up. Hell, did they put something in it? Because at this point, just tracking me, it don't matter. Y'all tracking everything else. You got my phones tapped. You tampering with my mail. You're tampering with emails. You got my pages shadow banned. Y'all caused me to lose my job. Know how many applications I put in? I have a master's degree. You think I'd be getting calls back left and right. It's to the point I stopped putting in applications because nobody was calling back. So I feel like they have me blacklisted. And nobody would say anything. Imagine that. Nothing at all. And then I look at attorneys' websites and they like, whatever you do, stay off social media. Don't talk about what it is that you're going through. But what the hell else am I supposed to do? Because I've reached out to everybody and nobody's doing anything to help me. Nobody. And so what else do you do other than try to put the word out there? And like I said, with the 2 or 3 views that I get on my page that they allow me to get, it wouldn't surprise me if those 2 or 3 people were the people who's contributing to doing this. Those are the ones who's watching my page. Those are the ones trying to see what I'm saying. And screening every post. And making sure everything gets blocked. It's not even able to get out there to the public. It's like the only thing I have is my word. And they're making sure they try to quiet me at all costs. Imagine that. A world where it's supposed to be freedom of speech. And I tell y'all, my civil rights have been violated in every kind of way. Every kind of way. Every kind of way. And there's a lot of people involved in this. The only thing I could think of left to do is to, like I've been thinking, just get to the United Nations. And I don't know if that's going to help. I've sent emails and got on their pages and sent messages through TikTok pages and Twitter pages, just no response back. Sent messages to attorneys through TikTok and Instagram and Twitter pages, no response. Emails, no response. It's like, is it getting to anybody? Is there anybody there? Because it's a whole hell of a lot of people around me watching me. So is there anybody there in the places that I'm reaching out to for help? Or is everybody paid to just shut up and pretend like they don't know anything? And if so, what are they being paid with? Hell, because if you want me to shut up, maybe you can pay me to shut up and not say the things that I know. Maybe that'd be the case. But they're not trying to pay me anything. They want me out here looking like a bomb. Person probably with more sense, more education, more knowledge, more wisdom than they have. And they want me out here looking like a bomb, a homeless person who maybe on drugs or something. They want me to look like somebody who is not believable. They want me to look like that person you can't trust out here in these streets. Wow, the people you can't trust are your leaders. These are the people in these positions. Corrupt police officers. Corrupt politicians. Corrupt management in these high positions and corporate entities. These so-called elite people, the people who are in these groups, the secret societies. These are the people who you can't trust. These are the people who's coming for me regularly. And it's a mixture of both at the bottom all the way to the top. They have these people in everything. In everything. In everywhere. In banks. In doctor's office. They lawyers. They police officers. They working in gas stations and fast food restaurants. They in everything. These are the ones you can't trust. The ones out there that's trying to silence you. That's trying to silence me. The ones that have torn me out of everything that I have, everything that I built for myself. These are the ones you can't trust. But you know how easy is it for them to make it seem like you are the one that can't be trusted, especially when they have you out here looking like this, right? Especially when they can just pay somebody to say that something, you did something you didn't do. Or you've acted in a way you shouldn't be acting, or you've said something that you shouldn't have said, when they can just pay people to lie on you. Or they have one person that tells the lies and a whole group of followers that take the lie and run with it, and so it spreads like a wildfire. I want you to sit back and shut up. And so yeah, I've been talking an hour, y'all. My bad. I'm irritated. I'm slightly venting. I'm actually venting a lot. I've been talking for an hour. Yeah. Celebrities. Again, I would say I would love to figure out where my books have gone, because I've done a lot of things. I had businesses. Matter of fact, I've been erased from the internet completely. So not only do they have my stuff shadow banned, where people, hardly anybody sees my things that I create, but like I said, I've had stuff that I haven't even been able to put out there. And then I've been erased from the internet just altogether. I Googled my name one day, and this was a while ago, and the first thing would come up was the fact that I've been on the dean's list a couple of times while I was in college. All of my degrees would come up and tell you what school I got those degrees from, the jobs that I had legally established, these businesses that I legally established, they would pop up. And then one day I Googled my name when all this stuff started happening. And do you know, nothing showed up for me. The first thing I noticed was it asked me, was I talking about Sha'Carri Richardson? And I was immediately like, WTH. What the hell, y'all? What the hell? I've Googled my name before. I type in my full name and all of my stuff comes up. I've never been asked, was I talking about Sha'Carri Richardson? But this particular time I was. And then you click no. I'm talking about exactly what I typed in. And you know what comes up for me? Nothing. What comes up for me is Hosea Feed the Hungry. It's probably 19, 20 years old maybe when I used them one time. Way back, God knows when. And you know how they have these little giveaways and you just go. I went to one of them one time. And it's like that was a curse. You know, you'll know if something is a blessing or a curse. It wasn't worth it. To Google my name now and that's the only thing pops up, is it look like I'm this needy person. Someone took their time and erased me from the internet, y'all. They had Google delete all of my good things that I had, all of my businesses. Every time I made the dean's list, all of my degrees, they deleted all of that off Google and left that one time from I don't know how long ago, from Hosea Feed the Hungry. Imagine that. So it just speaks again to the illusions that they're trying to give you when it comes down to me. They don't want you to know who I truly am. They want you to think what they give you. They want you to see only what they want you to see. And again, I'm still trying to figure out why. Why is this happening? Because I mean, I know what I know now from pulling cards and my intuition and prayers and meditating and and my visions that I get, I know what I know, but no one is taking the time to actually come up to you and say anything. And so this is not helpful for me to know what I know, because what can I do? I'm still sitting out here like I am. While people are able to just go on and live their life like nothing ever happened. Again, everything's just being swept under the rug. Everything is being swept under the rug. And so yeah, anyway. Originally I was gonna pull some cards and just see what was in the energy, because like I said, I just looked up and I know what I just finished thinking. And I know how they work. Like I see what's going on. I see how people move now, and so I know what I was just thinking. And I really wasn't sure what's going down right now, what's happening. And so I went to pull some cards and just see. But I've been talking for an hour and 11 minutes now, y'all. An hour and 11 minutes. And so what, I'm just going to go ahead and end this video. Hopefully it'll let me end it, you know. It's always something crazy going on. So hopefully it'll let me end this and save it. And I'll just come back and pull some cards and we'll see what's in the energy then, y'all.